Welcome, my valued students. My name is Robert Farrell. I appreciate you being here. I have a special one-time offer of my new Dreamweaver Creative Cloud course. The course now is uploading the rest of it, so this is a special intro offer for before it actually fully publishes. This is going to be a complete course, unlike some of my other courses where I broke them up into separate pieces. This course will cover everything from web app development for mobile apps to working with jQuery themes, and I'm going to just take you through a little walkthrough of Dreamweaver's new features in this video tutorial. I highly suggest you take advantage of this offer. If you're looking at this video, you have a link to my new offer, and this offer will never be the same again. It's a very low intro offer to get you excited about working with the new Dreamweaver Creative Cloud. The Creative Cloud. Now, if you don't have it, I highly suggest you download the Creative Cloud application from adobe.com absolutely free for 30 days. It's an investment into your tool set. So let's get started by talking about Dreamweaver's new features. So right off the bat, one of the new things you'll notice about the new version of Dreamweaver Creative Cloud, the benefit of the Creative Cloud is this. Unlike old versions of Dreamweaver CS5, CS6, you'd actually wait a year or two before Dreamweaver decided to update new features. The advantage of a cloud application is that it's instantaneous. The second they come up with a new version or a new fix or a new add-on to that particular software, it's available to you right away. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with cloud software, that doesn't mean that it's running from their server. This is a fully downloadable piece of software that's available on your computer. You can have up to 2 copies of the software running on 2 computers. Now, one of the features that I particularly like about the new Dreamweaver Creative Cloud, which happens to be quite a bit, I might be with my laptop working in a client's office and then go to my either home or home office computer, and I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. So what happens with Creative Cloud, if you look up here in the top right-hand corner, it enables you to sync that. So basically your application on your laptop or your home computer works exactly the same way it will on your work computer. So it's really an advantageous application to have. Now, for those of you saying, well, I don't want to have to spend a subscription fee. Well, welcome to the real world. Either way, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you money to buy the actual program or the subscription. Now, Creative Cloud is only available on subscription, and right now it's 30 days for free. So I highly suggest you get it. But as I might have said before, you don't pay for software. I've never paid for software in my life. Now, what I mean by that, I do not bootleg software, of course not. I pay for the software, but then I get basically reimbursed by the client. Now, I don't send the client a bill for the software. That'd be suicide. What I do is I build that into my development costs. So as an example, if you look at a program like After Effects, some of those extensions could run literally thousands of dollars, especially the Boris Red add-ons and extensions. Those can run you sometimes $10,000, $20,000 for an extension. Well, if I'm developing a solution for my client, I'm not going to go out and pay for that out of my pocket. I'm going to build that into the project itself and charge them. Now, of course, if you tell them, hey, you're paying for the software, well, they might not be your client very long. So basically, Adobe Creative Cloud is going to run you about $19 to $29 a month. I am working with a deal with Adobe right now to hopefully get you a student discount. I used to get students discounts going years back when Adobe bought Macromedia. They kind of changed their policy on that. Now you have to be a registered school or university, which of course I'm not. So let's talk about some of the features in the new Adobe Dreamweaver Creative Cloud. Now, I'm going to be offering new videos on Udemy for all the Creative Cloud applications, and there's a lot of them, a lot of new ones that you've never heard of before. So the advantage of having an all-access pass is that you're going to get all the new features from now and today, tomorrow. You'll get all updatable all updated video content that I produce for now and in the future, all for one flat fee. Now, of course, if you're an all-access member, then all of the training right now is free to you because you already paid your all-access fee. So let's talk about Dreamweaver CS Creative Cloud. I'm going to make myself a new file. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that they got rid of a lot of the extra nuances that were in the previous version. And right off the bat, you're going to make an HTML5 document. The earlier versions of Dreamweaver basically defaulted to the HTML 4.01 transitional. Now, since we're building responsive, fluid design websites, Dreamweaver Creative Cloud is definitely your best tool for that because built into the program, I'm just going to build an HTML5 document. And of course, I'm going to save this file, and I'll just call this test app 1. We're not going to talk about any other thing. And of course, you always want to get in the habit of titling your page. So I'll call this mobile app version 1. Make a change, save a change. Now, here's the exciting thing about the new Creative Cloud software that you're really going to enjoy. First of all, it kind of decluttered. If you recall, CS5, CS5.5, CS6 had a whole bunch of stuff going on up here. And you had tons of different options for your workspace. Right now, the only two options you have for your workspace is to work in what's called compact, which is basically if you're going to work at a laptop or a smaller screen monitor. Now, I happen to be on a larger iMac monitor, so I'm going to switch over to expanded. And the only difference, it's going to give you more or less palettes. But here's one of the cool things as far as working with a new program that I enjoyed very much. Right off the bat, it's built from the ground up to work with HTML5 header tags and container tags, meaning the navigation tag, the aside tag, all the features that we talked about in our previous versions of Dreamweaver CS6. But before, there was no dialog box. You had to hit Command T, you had to wrap it, type in the word, header, aside, navigation. Right now, it's very simplistic. So if you decided to put, say, a header, an HTML5 header tag onto your document, here's how simple it is. You simply click the icon right here, and therefore I can put it wherever I want to put it. So as an example, if I was to put the word header as an example, I could actually double click that word and wrap that word inside an HTML5 container tag. Identically the way you can do that with a div tag, and of course that's still here. So I could basically call this my branding ID, just like I did with div tags in previous versions of Dreamweaver using my technique. And right off the bat, that in fact is a header tag. You'll see it's a header tag with an ID of branding. Now, if you don't have, let's undo this for a second, if you don't actually have content, then it will put placeholder content for you. So as an example, I want to put a header tag right there. I'm not going to get an ID. I'm just going to share with you how this works. And right there puts the content. Then I could say, okay, after that, here's a very important step. Okay, right now it doesn't matter where I select, because what I'm going to do is after that, I'm going to put my navigation HTML5 tag by clicking right here. So based on these choices, identical in my previous CS6 video on Udemy, how to insert a div tag. Well, I'm going to insert a navigation HTML5 tag based on these choices after a tag. After, not the body tag. Now, you'll notice that the header tag is not coming up here. It's because the header tag doesn't have an ID. So I already created this. So how would I give it existing tag and ID? Well, the same way we did in previous versions of the software. In order to affect the tag, we select the tag, we come right down here, and we're going to call it branding. And return key. So now, when I hit the navigation HTML5 container tag, and based on these choices, we're going to put this new tag after the tag and after the header branding tag. Again, you have to give it an ID, otherwise it's not going to appear in that list. Very important step, and there it goes right there. So again, what I have going on here, and this is just a basic overview to get you excited about signing up for my new course with this special introductory rate. That's the whole nature of this right here. Yeah, it's a sales and marketing tool, blah, blah, blah. But hey, I want you to benefit from my new training, and I don't want you to have to spend more money than you need to. You have a special introductory offer, the link that I sent you. It's never going to be that cheap again, and it's only going to be available for the next 2 days at that price. So I highly suggest you chop and you get started with that. So under the structure, I have all the different things to basically create structure to my page, including the HTML5, the unordered list, etc., which is something, of course, we had in our previous versions. Now, here's what I really like. Right off the bat, I can go ahead and build my jQuery mobile websites, which of course are part of this course as well. Now, some of these features were available in the older version of Dreamweaver, some of them were not. But right here, I could basically pick any type of jQuery mobile app feature that I want to include into my page. I could also my jQuery mobile user interface. Now, here's the really cool part, which I really like. I'm just going to select all and delete. So in addition to that, I have a complete form structure. Now, I did forms before, but it wasn't this detailed. So as an example, if I wanted to put in a password field, boom, all I have to do is click. If I wanted to put in a search field, boom, all I have to do is click. Telephone. okay? Number range, like say I want to put, somebody's going to register for something from a date from this range to that range, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the tools have made it much more simplistic to basically build professional-looking applications. And again, that's under the Insert menu. Okay. Now, they've also expanded their CSS capabilities, and it's a little bit more of a, I don't want to say the word hoop jump, but it's not as intuitive as it was before, but my job is to make this really simple. So if you want to, I'm just going to delete this for a second. If you want to put CSS rules on here, it's slightly different from the previous versions. You actually have to pick a source of your CSS, and in this particular case, we're going to define it inside of this particular document. Then you have to have this tag selected. With that tag selected, you then come down here to select the tag selector. Now, the reason that nothing is showing up because I broke my rule, similar to my previous Dreamweaver CS6 courses. I have to select the tag here and then select the tag over here. So I'm going to select the body tag. Then, based on these choices, I could then go and select the body selector. So therefore, if I do that, the thing that's different, everything is right here in my palette. There's no pop-up dialog boxes. Now, my objective is to teach you in this complete video series on Dreamweaver Creative Cloud how to build an application solution for desktop, laptops, all your mobile applications, including all your devices, including Android, iPhone, iPad, etc., in one complete course. So we're going to go through this step by step. The other thing that I really enjoy is your media queries for doing your different size devices are right here, and they become much more sophisticated. So as an example, I could basically build something for the screen, hit the plus building, and then select the orientation to landscape, hit the plus building, and then set a maximum width, minimum width, etc., etc. So these are all the choices that you have available. Now, some of these choices were available in previous versions, but it wasn't that intuitive. So some of the options and some of the production palettes inside of this software, the new software, Dreamweaver Creative Cloud, is in fact very intuitive. Some of it is not. It's a little bit of a hoop jump. It's a different way to think. And I respect what they've done with this program, and they really did a great job. But the whole battle cry, the whole nature of this particular new release of the Dreamweaver program is that it's built from the ground up in HTML5, where the other versions it was like a proxy. It sort of did it. Now it's built right into the program. So when I have a div tag, I can do my rounded corners right in my user interface right over here. Or I could do drop shadows right inside my user interface. Before, you had to do a different set of settings to basically get that to happen, especially if you watched my Dreamweaver course. So I highly suggest you take advantage of this. Go to the adobe.com website and download the free 30-day trial version of the Adobe Creative Cloud suite, and also definitely take advantage of this intro offer. It's never going to be this cheap. Right now on Udemy, this course is going to retail for $159, and as the course builds, this course can easily go up to $300. So do yourself a huge favor. Take advantage. Get involved with this course. This is the course that's going to make you money. I'm so excited about this new version of Dreamweaver because it's got everything you would dream that a dream, no pun intended, that it has to basically produce web applications from the ground up. So web apps is the new terminology. It's not necessarily a web page anymore. It's a web app. Well, technically, it's always been a web application, but they've called it web pages. Now it's one-stop shopping in the program, and it's a very simple system to get up from the ground up. So again, thank you for being here. My name is Robert Farrell. I highly suggest, what are you waiting for? Why are you watching this video? You should go sign up for my new course. Talk to you soon. Carpe diem.